Hey, tech besties, welcome or welcome back to K Talks Tech. I'm Kay. Let's talk tech. So, the last time I was with you, I did a video on the real reason there are no tech jobs. And I listed a number of things. I don't want to rehash the whole thing, but I'll go over it quickly. So, I said that employers never wanted to pay you. AI is just their latest way of getting there. Um, I talked about AI specifically and its impact on the market. I talked about offshoring, employer retaliation for COVID. I talked about Tim Gurner, the needs to be pain in the marketplace guy. Um, Unemployment 40 to 50% is what he suggested. And that I mentioned that corporate, no, I mentioned that consulting contracts are a bellwether of what's happening in the industry. Oh, yeah, and I also mentioned that your government's not supporting you. Okay, but today I want to do the part two. I'm going to add a couple of reasons and then I'm going to tell you what we can do about it. So, the first reason I want to add is ageism. Now, I am not a person who looks great on camera, but I have 41 years of experience in tech. This ain't bad, okay? Most people think I'm about just hovering close to 50, which is fantastic. But the ageism is real, y'all. So, one thing that the Indian consulting companies do, and this is specific to them, they want to know what year you graduated from college. None of your business. As soon as they ask me that, I really don't want to work with them anymore because it's just a way of figuring out how old you are. If there are applications that ask that, I delete the education part from the application. American consulting firms never ask me that. If you're smart, you can probably tell from my resume. Like, you don't come right out of college and get into a senior position, right? So, if you see senior for 15 years and the resume kind of ends there, well, then you know. You can figure I've been around a while, at least 20 years, and after that, what do you need to know? I'm not some little old lady, right? So ageism is real. I recently had a discussion with the recruiter. She spent 10 to 15 minutes of my time to get to the end of the discussion to ask me if I had more than how many years experience did I have because the employer wanted junior candidates. And I said to her, does my resume look like junior to you? And she's like, oh no, that's not what I mean. I'm like, this woman doesn't understand what I'm saying to her, right? I miss the days when we had recruiters that actually recruited and they had experience and they were really helpful and didn't waste your time with things like that. But it's like everything else. The senior people have been let go and they're trying to make do with less money. So, excuse me, just need a sip. My throat is dry. Oh, nothing left in there. Okay, well, um, okay, so now on to what do we do in this market? Well, I have a few things I've written down. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is network like hell, and I mean actively. You need to join networks that you can be an active participant in. You have to spend some time on this now because just linking to somebody on LinkedIn and never having another interaction with them is not going to work because when you need somebody to tell you about a job lead or do a referral to a company, you need somebody who actually has some idea who you are. If they don't know who you are, they don't want to help you. Do you want to help people you have no idea who they are? Maybe the way that your company does referrals is you're really sticking your neck out for somebody, although most large companies are not doing that. But still, you want to have some idea who these people are. You don't want to just put your name out for people you know nothing about, and so you shouldn't expect people to do that for you either. So I want to network with you. We're here together on this channel. You make some comments, we have some interactions. You like, you subscribe, and we can be in a network together. And you can follow me on my business page on LinkedIn. I will put that in the description box. I forgot to do it last time. I hope I don't forget again. But if I do forget, you can always find me on YouTube, and it's definitely there. The other thing you're going to have to do is stack your income. So, along with that goes a mindset shift, right? So, people go to school and they learn new skills and they get certifications so they can get a job. But you have to think about you're not just getting a job anymore. You have to focus on income, not employment. So, where else can you have income besides your full-time job? Right? Because you need to have multiple sources of income. There's got to be something else you can do, a side hustle. Can you work a second job? Um, back in the day when you could hire people off Craigslist without taking your life into your own hands, I hired a couple of guys to help me do a small moving job. And one of them said that he gets jobs off of LinkedIn, off of Craigslist because his girlfriend works on Saturday and he needed to do something while he's just waiting for her to. So he wanted to be busy and it gives him a little extra money, so that's what he was doing. So maybe it's something like that. You're going to have to skill up too. You're going to have to find new skills. Some of those skills can be outside of tech because everything is tech adjacent. So maybe if you, I don't know, I can't think of a good example now, but maybe if you get some, let's say, medical skills, right? You can work on medical tech. Or maybe you just say, you know what, I'm going to do something completely different. I'm going to go into law, or I'm going to be a plumber, because your tech career has an expiration date on it, okay? You're not going to have a tech career for 40 years anymore. Unfortunately, that it is what it is. Another thing you can do is, it kind of should be obvious, but save your money. Do not increase your lifestyle. Okay, everybody wants a decent place to live. I'm not telling you not to do that, but what I am saying is don't go buy that expensive new car. Don't start going on vacation around the world, cruising for 20 days every year. That's very expensive. Um, don't start buying a bunch of designer stuff. Save your money. Save your money and invest it carefully, because quality of investments in this country is going to also degrade, unfortunately. So that's something you have to be aware of. Um, I'm just looking at my list because, I have notes. The last thing you're going to have to do is to get political. And this is actually very important because we have companies running our country. Large companies make large political campaign donations, and then the politician is beholden to them. They can't get into the political seat without those contributions. And they're going to kind of owe not kind of exactly owe whoever made those contributions, because they need them to make them again the next time. So that has to be broken. Now, there's a couple of things that some states have done. Maine and I think Montana tried to put some caps on political contributions, and they are being sued. But what Hawaii did is it said, you know what? States decide what powers companies have, so we're just going to remove that power. You no longer have the right to make political campaign contributions, okay? I think that was the way they went around it, and they were trying to make citizens united, and so instead of arguing about how much they can contribute, they just say you don't have the ability to do that anymore at all, and you can't really contest it in federal court because states decide what rights corporations have within their state. So I thought that was pretty smart. That law goes into effect July 2027. I invite you to fact check me on everything because, you know, I am definitely summarizing, okay? But anywho, I do think those will be useful for you and for me, for all of us. So definitely like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm just not that person who can be doing something for 3 years and still have less than 100 subscribers. So, I would appreciate your help in helping me grow this channel because I do want to be a resource for you. Oh, by the way, a couple of other announcements. If you are unemployed and you want to come on the channel and talk about your background and what you're looking for in your skill set, I invite you to do that. Just reach out to me here or via my website, kaetalkstech.com. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn, on the K Infotech page on LinkedIn, all one word. The one other thing is I have a new service called Consult 30 where you can buy consulting by the session. And so I'm giving away 3 free 15-minute sessions. You can ask anything you want about the industry. Only thing I don't do is hardware, but I do everything else. So you go through the website, kinfotech.com/consult30, to put in your question and then just say, I want the free 15-minute question. And I'm doing that in exchange for testimonials. I want to have testimonials from tech pros. On my website, you don't have to have your name on there. It's just the testimonial itself. Okay, that's it. That's all I have for you today. And I'll see you another time when we will continue to talk tech. Bye.